Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I am going to talk about expression of complaining. So we will search here and we see the first website and we are going to talk about this. So here, complaining, talking about complaints. What are complaints? So the first thing here, complaints are expressions of displeasure or annoyance in response to an action that is seen by the speaker as unfavorable. So it means complaints are the expressions that you show when you are bothered for something. And then there is an example here. Suppose you want to complain about the pizza you have just ordered because it's too salty. What are expressions needed to express and respond to complaints? So here the example is when you have just ordered a pizza but it's too salty and of course it's bothered you so much and you want to complain about it. So here are expressions you can use when complaining. And the first expression is I have a complaint to make. And second, sorry to bother you but. And third, I'm sorry to say this but. And the fourth, I'm afraid I've got a complaint about. The fifth, I'm afraid there is a slight problem with. The sixth, excuse me but there is a problem about. The seventh, I want to complain about. And the eighth, that I think it's the least expression that you have to say, but if you're really angry you can use this. And this is I am angry about. So the examples here are first, I have a complaint to make. Your pizza is just too salty. You can see that because you're bothered with it. And so the second, I'm sorry to say this, but your food is inedible. Inedible means it cannot be eaten because it's too salty. And so the next, I'm afraid I've got a complaint about your child. He's too noisy. So when you're in the room with so many people and there is a child that he is too noisy, you can say this to his parent. Then we move on to the next sentence or expression. That is, I'm afraid there is a slight problem with the service in this hotel. So when you are in the hotel, you also, as a customer, you can say or you can complain the problem about the service in the hotel. Or everything you want to complain, you can use that too. That is, I'm afraid there's a slight problem. So there are 3 more. And the next is, excuse me, but you are standing on my foot. When you're in a situation that someone is right next to you, but she or he is standing on your foot or stepping on your foot, of course you're so annoyed about this and you can say that. Excuse me, but what? You can tell what you want to complain. Maybe it's about the standing on your foot or something. And the next, I want to complain about the noise you are making. If you see or hear or listen someone that he is too noisy, you can say this. And the next, and I have told you if this is the least expression you have to say if you're extremely angry and you cannot bear it, you can say this: I'm angry about the way you treat me. So maybe that's all the expressions of complaining. And we move on to the next part: responding to complaints. So when you respond to complaints, there is positive response and negative response too. And the first for positive complaints is, I'm sorry, but this will never occur or happen again. The second, I'm sorry, we promise never to make the same mistake again. And the third, I'm really sorry, we'll do our utmost or best not to do the same mistake again. So here, the one who you talk to is really sorry about this and will never happen again. And if you make that mistake, you can also say this response. So the next, we move on to the negative response to complaints. And the first, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. Second, I'm afraid there isn't much we can do about it. And the third, we are sorry, but the food is just alright. So why can we say this as a negative response? Because there's no positive response that we can do, because we think this is just alright. Why does he complain about this? And also things to remember about complaints. When expressing a complaint in English, it helps to be polite. Although I'm angry about your pizza, it's too salty, is one possible way of expressing a complaint. It is considered too rude, and you better use more polite expressions above, like I told you before, if you want to get what you want. Then being angry for something, it will not help anything. And then now I am going to watch the video, and its title is Complaining About a Holiday with you all guys. So let's watch it together.
Good morning, can I help you?
I'd like to make a complaint about my holiday in Hawaii last week.
I'm sorry.
So there was a man who was sitting in front of the lady, and he complained about his holiday in Hawaii last week. And so let's see what did the lady answer to him.
Sorry to hear that. What exactly was the problem?
So the lady answered the complaint by saying, I'm sorry to hear that. And she was asking what exactly was the problem. And so here the man was going to explain what was the problem.
First of all, the bus taking us to the hotel broke down. We had to wait for over 2 hours in the sweltering heat before a replacement arrived. Then, when we got to the hotel, we found our room hadn't been cleaned.
Oh dear. Did you complain to the hotel staff?
Of course, but we were told all the chambermaids were off duty. Anyway, that's not all. The people in the room above sounded like they were having all-night parties every night. I demanded another room, but the receptionist told me the hotel was full.
Oh, I see.
And to cap it all, the food in the hotel restaurant was awful. It was so bad, we had to eat out all the time despite having paid for meals and the price of our holiday.
I do apologize.
And so he told the lady about all the complaints he wanted to tell, and here is the lady answer to him by apologizing.
I'd like to offer you a 20% discount on the price of one of our autumn breaks as a gesture of goodwill.
A 20% discount? You must be joking. I want to see the manager.
So, as we can see together, if the lady was offering the 20% discount to him, but he didn't want it, and he really wanted to tell it to the manager directly. And for me, it is also the one way that you satisfy yourself by taking the offer or refuse it, and want to talk to the manager directly. So maybe that's all from me. Thank you for all of your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.